you know? 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast. Did you know? Brought to you by Mallard Bay. For any of your hunting and fishing needs, you want to book a trip, if you're an outfitter and you need to sell some hunts, look up the boys at mallardbay.com.
Do it.
All right, this week's Did You Know? I'll go first in this week.
All righty.
Okay. I'm going to start. I'm going to be all over the board today.
Uh-oh.
First thing I'm going to talk about is abortion.
Okay.
Do you know how many abortions we have in the United States?
$50,000.
No, not even close.
Shoosh.
930,000 was the statistics from 2020. 2016 was 874, 862 in 2017, 916,000, and then up to 930 in 2020. Stayed about the same. Okay.
Big number.
Do you know the rates of abortion per 1,000 people?
Well, I mean, if it's 900,000.
It's 30 per 1,000 women have an abortion, which shocked me.
30 per 1,000?
Yeah. That
I can't wrap my head around these numbers.
That's mind-boggling to me.
How many people are in the United States? 350 million?
350 million, and we have a million abortions.
Half of that is
175 million.
175? Mm-hmm. And then 900,000?
We basically a million abortions a year. So one in 33 people have an abortion. If there's 330 million people here, and there's
175 million women, approximately.
Well, yeah, I guess if you looked at it that way, it's even more. I didn't think about it that way. Let's say there's 200 million.
That's 1 out of 175.
Well, here it is. Abortion rates tend to be higher among minority women in the U.S. Yeah. The rates among black and Hispanic women were 49 per 1,000 for blacks, 33 per 1,000 for Mexican ladies or Hispanics, whatever you want to call, and 13 around non-Hispanic white women. I guess all white women. So 49, 50 out of if there's 1,000 black women in a room, 50 of them are going to have an abortion.
Right.
That's crazy. Don't come to me with these facts that it's your health, your body, because that's you're making a choice there. It's not because of race, rape, and incest. This ain't a political deal. I'm just talking. That's the actual.
That's the number.
That's the numbers.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, that's the abortion rates in the United States, and that kind of shocked me. So that's the first part. Now we're going to go to the next one. For everybody that's not in Texas, high school football's king in Texas.
It is.
The top 10 most attended Texas high school football games of all time. How many people do you think was at a high school football game? I'm
going to go with 37,000.
37,000 probably don't even make the top 100. 54,347 is the record for a Texas high school football game. And that was Allen versus Pearland.
What year?
2013.
Okay.
2014, Allen and Cy Ranch played in front of 52,308.
Wow.
You know who the quarterback at Allen was?
What year?
2012.
Baker Mayfield.
No, a little guy that plays in Arizona named Kyler Murray.
Ah.
Kyler Murray also played before 48,000 in another game. So 3 of the top 5 games belong to Kyler Murray.
Wow.
54, 52, and 48,000.
They said he was special. Whenever we had on Jason Lavender, he said he was the best high school player he's ever seen.
Yep. And he never lost a game in the state of Texas. He's undefeated at Jerry's World. And this is what's really amazing about him. He played with more guys at high school that played in the pros than Daniel Jones did in college that played in the pros.
I believe that, Duke.
Crazy statistic. But anyways, that all the way to 10 is still 45,000. One game goes back to, where was it at? I saw it just a minute ago. 1945, Highland Park in Waco played in front of 45,000 people.
I figured Old Hein Rider would be on there.
No, because we only could hold 17 to 20,000 people in the stands.
Oh.
The capacity of Old High Stadium is only 15,000, or the Wichita Falls is 15,000. But I've been to games when they've had it. Like 2 years ago, we went to one and there was about 18,000 people there.
Right.
And that's a lot of people at a high school game.
100%.
And we played in the playoffs there, and we had people. It was standing room only. It was probably 18 to 20,000. Okay. Biggest stadium in the state of Texas, just for high school football, and these are high school stadiums only.
Alito.
Nope. Frisco, 20,500. San Antonio's Alamo Stadium, 18.5. Odessa's Ratliff, where they played Friday Night Lights at, 17,931. Canyon, 20,000. Fort Worth Farrington Field, which is an old stadium, 18.3.
Canyon, like in Canyon, Texas,
has 20,000. San Angelo holds 17.5. Mesquite's 19.4. Allen's 18,000, and Baytown 16.5. Those are the biggest ones by capacity. A lot of these stadiums are played with standing room only, where they'll have more people. And then a lot of the big games are all at college stadiums.
Yeah. Well, Canyon surprised me because it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's in the Panhandle. It's by itself.
It's basically a suburb of Amarillo. I mean, you can't even tell when you leave Amarillo anymore. Okay. Then my last one. Can you name the number one selling album of all time?
Is it one of Michael Jackson's?
Yes.
Okay.
Thriller. 70 million copies were sold.
Phew.
You imagine if he made $5 a copy. Not counting the money he made traveling.
Just $1
This
copy.
is what surprised me. The second biggest selling album of all time.
Is it a Beatles album?
Nope.
I'm going to go with Michael Jackson again.
No.
He doesn't have number one or number two?
Nope. It's a rock band.
Like what kind of rock? Like
Heavy metal rock.
Oh, geez. I don't. We might differ on heavy metal.
Hair band. Heavy metal.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's got to be Motley Crue.
Nope.
Guns N' Roses.
Nope.
Def Leppard.
Nope.
Whitesnake.
Nope.
I'm out. Bon Jovi.
Nope.
I'm out.
And that really surprised me because their Bon Jovi Living on a Prayer was a really big album.
Yeah.
AC/DC Back in Black.
Huh.
50 million in sales. Now, this is what's crazy about that move. Their first singer was a guy named Bon Scott, and he died.
Right.
They got a new singer, and they thought they were done. And then they come out with Back in Black, second biggest album of all times.
But don't they kind of sound the same, don't they?
Yeah, it's the band. I think there's been 47 different members of AC/DC over the years.
Right.
That's what Aerosmith could do. But the Aerosmith's problem is they could never find another Steven Tyler.
No.
And the same with Guns N' Roses, which I think was the greatest band of all time, but they didn't have enough longevity. And Axl Rose was an asshole.
Peaked too early.
Yep. Okay. The third one, Whitney Houston. Fourth, Pink Floyd. Fifth, the Eagles. Meatloaf 6, Eagles again 7, Shania Twain 8, Fleetwood Mac and Bee Gees. And that's the top 10 greatest albums of all time. And that's my Did You Knows. But AC/DC is the one that surprised me more than anything.
Yeah.
Which is a great album. I think it's one of the greatest albums ever. Back in Black.
Let's see what all's on Back in Black real quick.
Hell's Bells.
Before we move on.
Thunderstruck. Shook Me All Night Long.
Hell's Bells. What do you do for money, honey? Let me put my love in. I don't know what that is. Let me put my love. It's not coming up. You shook me all night long. Shake a leg. Shoot to thrill. Give the dog a bone. Back in Black. Have a drink on me. Rock and roll ain't noise pollution. That was the Back in Black album.
It's good. A lot of those songs were damn good.
Hell's Bells, You Shook Me All Night Long, Back in Black, Shoot to Thrill.
Yeah, there was 5 songs that were big hits on there.
So, bonus, did you know? They call it the 80-20 rule. 80% of what you put out, or 80-20 rule. Oh, no. 20% is about the average you want to shoot for if you are a creative. So 20% of basically anything that an artist puts out is where they get most of their listens from.
Now do what now?
If you take an artist's entire catalog,
okay,
and like Taylor Swift, only 20% of all the songs she's ever put out have become hits.
Okay, and
that's the same with anybody that's mega.
Yeah, I could see that.
So
outside of Michael Jackson, probably.
If you're having a hard time, just remember that Taylor Swift only hits 20% of the time. So okay,
so 20% is the
kind of the gold standard. Because listen, there's a lot of people that if everything that they do doesn't turn to gold, they consider themselves a failure or whatever. Taylor Swift, 20% of what she puts out hits, becomes anything anybody listens to. So don't be so hard on yourself. That's all I was trying to say.
Okay, and that's probably the normal deal. It's crazy because Thriller by Michael Jackson, 7 singles were released from that. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think. The Girl Is Mine hit number 2. Billie Jean reached number 1. Beat It was number 1. Wanna Be Starting Something was a top 10. Human Nature was number 7. PYT was number 10. That's on one album.
Yeah.
That's 7 of the 10 songs were top 10 hits.
Right.
And well, could you imagine being the shitty guy who wrote the song that was the 10th song on that list and you got paid all the same money? That's crazy.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah, there's 9 songs on that album, and 7 of them were top 10 hits, and 5 of them were number 1s. That's crazy.
Okay. My did you know? How many cases in the United States how many times has a murder or a death been contributed to a paranormal?
0.
1 is the Bell Witch in Tennessee. It's a little town.
Did someone kill themselves? Or you fixed them in the story?
I'm going to tell you the story.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Adams, Tennessee is north of Nashville, about an hour. A man named John Bell and his family were harassed by a paranormal from 1817 to 1821 until John died, I guess, in 1821. So starts out, they're from North Carolina. They go to Tennessee. They find this place on the banks of the Red River in Robertson County, is the small town of Adams, Tennessee. So it starts out, John is in a cornfield and he sees this creature. Looks like a dog, but it's got a rabbit's head. He fires 2 shots at it. Obviously doesn't kill it. It vanishes. And then after that, strange disturbances inside the family's home began. Started with loud knocking, gnawing sounds, and the sounds of chains dragging the floor. Eventually, the witch's activities became physical. It began striking, pinching, and pulling the hair of some of the family members. However, it was the hardest on John Bell and his daughter, Betsy. The witch then began speaking and having full conversations with members of the families. Oftentimes, it directed its insults and threats to John Bell. When it was asked who or what the witch was, it responded, "I am a spirit. I was once very happy, but I have been disturbed, and that made me unhappy." A lot of the slaves around the families, I guess you would call it a plantation, even though it was just a farm. They started seeing these things. There was an enslaved man named Dean. He started carrying around a witch ball that was made to protect him and his wife from harm. They brought neighbors over just to make sure that they weren't crazy. The neighbors experienced a lot of the same things. Terrible odors. Anyway. So after 3 years of nonstop attack and harassments, John became, his health started to decline. He became bedridden and eventually passed away in December of 1820. When they found his body, there was a mysterious vial of like black liquid, and they never seen it before. They don't know what it was. So they asked the witch if she did it. She took credit for it. Authorities came out there and they said, yes, this was death by this Bell Witch. It's a famous house that you can still go visit in Adams, Tennessee, if you're in the Nashville area. That's my first one. Second, do you know how many legally haunted houses there are in the United States?
How do you define legally haunted houses?
I don't know.
Okay, well that's kind of
in the court of law. This is
legally haunted houses.
This is a haunted house.
0.
1.
Okay.
It is in New York State. This is the court case of Stambovsky versus Ackley. So there was a lady named Helen Ackley. It was in Nyack, New York.
It was where at in New York?
Nyack.
How do you spell that?
Nyack.
Okay.
Nyack, New York. Helen Ackley and members of her family had reported existence of numerous poltergeists in the house. Ackley had reported the existence of ghosts in the house, and Reader's Digest picked up on it, local newspapers, and on 3 occasions between 1977 and 1989, the house, anytime during Halloween, the city put on a big thing. They did ghost tours, all sorts of stuff. So it was this famous haunted house. Helen wanted to sell the house. So she, let's see here. Okay, Ackley's real estate broker, Ellis Realty, revealed the haunting to a man named Jeffrey Stambovsky. He was from New York. He wanted to buy the house. They agreed on a price. This was in 1990 of $650,000. He put down $32,000 in earnest money, the down payment. Well, came time for closing, and Helen was talking to Jeffrey, and she's like, enjoy the house. Like, I hope you don't mind the hauntings, all this other stuff.
Uh-oh.
Jeffrey says he was never...
Not full disclosure.
He was not fully disclosed of what was going on, even though Helen told her broker, make sure whoever gets this knows that this is a haunted house. Jeffrey then backs up a week before closing. They go to court, and then the court said, yes, this is a haunted house. You are entitled to your earnest money back. And then this is...
That's the only legally haunted house?
Legally haunted house.
Is someone still there now?
Yeah, it sold in 2021, I think.
Does it have the address down?
I'm sure. Let's see here. The home went up for sale in 2020 for $1.9 million and last sold in 2021 for $1.7 million.
Does it have the address though?
Let me look. Let me see.
I was just going to look it up on...
I can't really find it. This is commonly known as the Ghostbusters ruling. The court held that a house which the owner had previously advertised as haunted by ghosts was legally haunted for the purpose of an action for rescission brought by a subsequent purchaser of the house. Because of its unique holding that, as a matter of law, the house is haunted, the case has been frequently printed in textbooks and contracts. I can't find an address, but I'm sure you wouldn't have to look very hard. Let me try to find it.
Yeah, it's one Levita place in Nyack.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Well, it sold for $1.7 million 4 years ago, so a little bit out of my price range, ghost or not.
It's a pretty cool house, though.
Is it?
Yeah, it looks like a typical northeastern house. It's pretty. I mean, it's got the little...
Oh, yeah. And you get free ghosts with it, so...
I'm glad it was right there. We've been to Terrytown right by there. I'm surprised if Mom would have known this. We went and got a picture of it. So anyways, thank y'all you got anything else?
That's it.
All right.
Those two cases.
Thank y'all for listening. Did you know? And check out Mallard Bay at mallardbay.com.
Love you. Bye.